8-2 professional fighter, ruthless Robert Varricchio. How are you?
Living the dream, man. Living the dream.
So saw recently announced you will be defending your Ring of Combat title this September.
Yes.
I guess how is camp going for that so far?
Oh man, I'm never out of camp. I'm always training. Even after my last fight, I came right back to the gym, 4 to 5 days a week, and in camp now it's 6 days a week.
I guess is there, any transition at all, once the name is fine and the date is finalized, or is it just you try and prepare the same?
Oh no, there is a change in terms of like how intense the training is, what we add on to the training. Um, Out of camp, it's kind of just like improving the skills and learning new stuff and trying to fix little mistakes. And once we're in camp, it's all about getting in shape and doing the rounds that we need to do, to win.
And I guess with this being your first title defense, I guess how has the camp at all been different emotionally at all, being the hunted instead of the hunter looking for the title?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, especially after my last fight, taking that I wouldn't say brutal loss, but the fact that I was commanding the entire fight, and then I got caught with one shot. I've had that broken ego, in my head, and going with me for the past few weeks. So I'm just going out there to make a statement and to make sure everyone knows that I'm still dangerous and I'm still looking for my shot at the big leagues.
And yeah, you mentioned your last performance. Obviously, the final result didn't go your way, but you looked great throughout the fight. Were you able to take anything from that fight, going on to see the success that he's had, and recently just signing with the UFC, and take that as confidence, knowing that you were clearly competing at that level?
Oh yeah, I mean, taking from that fight, one first and foremost is that I know I'm UFC caliber now. Especially when I say completely manhandled him the first round. There was nothing he did in the first round that you know put me in fear. So it shows me that I'm at the level to compete with the guys up there.
And so you mentioned the UFC. Obviously, goal number one is retaining the Ring of Combat title in September. So you never want to look past that. But would you say that that is your next goal, is making it to the UFC or a major international promotion?
Yeah, I mean, any promotion that'll take me, PFL wants to take me, UFC wants to take me again. I'm here to put my stuff in the world's eyes and put on shows, put on exciting shows, exciting fights, and just have fun, man. I want people to see my name and just be like, damn, I gotta watch that guy.
And yeah, you do have a very fan-friendly fight style. I believe 6 or 8 wins come by finish. For
Yep.
fans that have never seen you fight, how would you describe your fight style?
Psychopath. I mean, even my last fight, man. Me and Miranda are exchanging elbows, and once the exchange is gone, I'm just cracking up laughing. So it's like you watch my fight against Alex Martinez, same thing. He hit me with elbow. I smile. I bounced off the cage and I smiled. You know, I'm literally I'm a little psychotic, but again, to do this, you gotta be a little crazy.
I guess what kind of drove your passion for MMA, and what was kind of the switching point at which point you started being, I could go all the way with this.
Uh, so I mean, from my get go, like I was always that kid with big dreams when I first started training. Like if I went back and looked at my Twitter, I would always be like talking about making it to UFC, this and that, blah blah blah. I like 16, 17 years old, so I was one of those annoying 16, 17-year-old kids who was talking about big dreams. So I've always wanted to make it, but what really clicked was I believe honestly it was my first MMA fight where I beat the guy because in New York you aren't allowed to do headshots as an amateur on the ground on your first fight. So my first fight, I ripped a body shot on his rib from knee on belly, and the ref stopped it because he just wouldn't fight back. So at that point, I was like, honestly, this is it. This is for me.
And so, obviously, now with this is your 11th professional camp plus, all the amateur camps. How different is camp to camp versus, implementing for the opponent versus, just following your own game plan?
I mean, now I mean ever since I went pro, we were doing a lot more like tape watching. Like me and my boy Julio, I would send Julio my opponents. He watched tape with me, and we would just make a game plan from there. Honestly, a lot of it is just like I said, like we'll do a day or two, maybe even 3 days out of the week, just going over, sparring simulation, like what's going to happen based on his previous fights, and then implement that game plan from there. And then less hard sparring, at least 1 day a week hard sparring, more sparring overall, but less hard sparring, and just a lot more visualization of the game plan, a lot of conditioning.
And so you mentioned sparring. Is there anyone, obviously you're from a very prominent gym with, people that have accomplished everything possible in the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone specifically that's, you've been sparring with to mimic your opponent, and to prepare for that?
Well, as of right now, we haven't really done a lot of like hard sparring for this fight because it's only like the first 2 weeks. So the first 2 weeks kind of just like getting a baseline of conditioning, which didn't need. I'm already in shape, so we kind of just be doing just sparring with lefties because he's lefty and kind of going over basically what he does. But I'm planning. I have a few people right now that I think I'm going to work with. Like one obviously being Julio Arte. Y'all know him as he's in the PFL right now. Just came off a dominant win in PFL Austin, and then hopefully from there, gonna try to get this guy Kamal, who's a tall lefty, and kind of fights very similar to the guy Ryan. Less wild punches, more straight techniques, but I'll have him throw a lot more wild shots at me as we spar.
Certainly, yeah, that just very curious about that, so I appreciate you shining some insight on that. Um, and then yeah, I guess obviously step number one is retain the title. But from there, is there any specific you mentioned one a major promotion. Is there any names or locations that are on the bucket list to fight?
I mean, I know PFL is coming to Chicago in October. I might do that if they take me after I take this guy's head. And then again, I'm there. I'm always training. I'm always ready. There's never a time I'm not training. Even on vacation, like I'm still training. So
And it
I'm
definitely shows with the improvement from camp to camp. So it definitely shows.
yes, sir.
And yeah, so I guess for people that are interested in purchasing tickets for Ring Combat, as well as keeping up with your fight news, where's the best places to follow you or purchase tickets for the show?
I believe all the tickets are gonna be online on Ring Combat. I'm gonna have some personal tickets on my personal for like my family members and all my students who want to come support. Um, Instagram. I don't have Twitter or X. Do we even call it Twitter? Anyone knows X now? Yeah, I don't really have anything else besides Instagram. So find me on there. I'm very active and I reach out when I can.
Yeah, so definitely be sure to follow him on Instagram, and yeah, if you're in the area or looking to travel for a fight, definitely recommend attending the Ring of Combat card in Atlantic City in September. And yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to join me, and yeah, best of luck, and hopefully we hear and still.
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna be an end still. Don't worry. I'm making sure I don't take 2 L's in a row. Gotta come back. Gotta go back in the win column.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate it. Best of luck.
My pleasure, brother. You have a great day.